We always had this very special dream to visit Australia and do the iconic East Coast road trip.
In a fried-out combi.
So we packed our bags, flew to Australia, and in Brisbane we rented a van and set off to drive all the way north to Port Douglas, where I was planning to meet an old friend that I met years ago.
Let's go! This is our first ride in the van.
The Joyce vehicle.
Yeah, they give a name for each vehicle. Ours is Joyce.
For the next few weeks, this will be our mobile home on 4 wheels.
Which gives us total freedom to stop wherever we want to. Leaving Brisbane behind, we drove north on the A1, also known as the Bruce Highway, and we notice we have exactly 1,600 kilometers to go until Cairns.
But first, let's show you how our camp life looks like. The first night in the camper van.
Survived the first night. Let me be in rigid height.
We are trying to organize. We took everything out of the backpack and put it in the boxes here.
The backpack is in the boxes.
No, the backpack is still out.
No, the backpack content. And the backpack itself is folded nicely here.
Which we'll have to change.
The bed is folded very nicely over here.
It is. Here you see the bed open. This is how we sleep in the night. In the back of the van we have a little kitchenette with fridge and our little table with 2 chairs.
In every campsite you will find lots of birds that need feeding. And Bridget is feeding here. You can see the curlews and even this ibis that is coming in.
And every campground, of course, has its own kitchen area.
With a toaster, a microwave, a kettle.
And, of course, the Barbie.
Don't forget the Barbie.
Our next stop is Noosa Heads, which is famous for its beach culture.
Surfers, beachgoers, and old school hippies.
Yay! Our next adventure brought us to Rainbow Beach. From there, we took a 4-wheel drive bus on a ferry to Fraser Island, where we saw the wild dingoes.
The dingoes might look a little bit like regular dogs, but they are actually a native species that arrived to Australia about a few thousand years ago.
We are driving through the sugarcane to the beautiful beach town of Bargara.
So we are in Bargara. That's next to
Bundaberg.
And you can see behind me, it's volcanic rock. All over here is volcanic rock. But this is already tropical ocean. It's tropical water. Look what I find here.
Corals.
Corals and share. So we are definitely in warm tropical water on a rocky volcanic shore of Bargara. This is how we start our day.
Great.
We both love snorkeling, and we've done it in tropical reefs all over the world. But we didn't realize that snorkeling the Great Barrier Reef is nothing like what we imagined.
The reef is not next to the coast, and almost all the coast is muddy water, full of mangroves, and the visibility is basically zero.
Yeah, and then there are also marine stingers, some of them very poisonous.
And going further north, even crocs are in the ocean. So you can't just walk into the beach expecting to see coral reefs. Some towns even build a safe swimming pool beside the shore that they call a lagoon.
But actually, to see the corals, you need to take a boat out to the outer reef or the islands. And that's why we were so excited for our first boat ride of the trip from the town of 1770 to Lady Musgrave Island. So we went on this big catamaran, and suddenly the waves became bigger and bigger, and I could see the whole world spinning around me.
So it was a very, very rough ride. And he got seasick very much, a few times, together with half of the people that were on this ride. And arriving there, Ori felt very bad, and he had to first of all recuperate for some time.
Yeah, I felt so bad, but when I got up and I got my energy back and put the snorkel on, and it was totally worth it. Have a look.
After Lady Musgrave, we continued north along the coast towards Ippon and from there to Keppel Island, hoping our second attempt at seafaring would go much smoother.
Okay, Brigitte.
Spirit of Keppel. That's where we're going.
Spirit of Keppel. And today
We are going to Keppel Island. This is a small island, half an hour from the coast here.
yeah,
And there is fantastic snorkeling there.
yeah, and we're really hoping for calm water today.
Yes.
That's that, guys. The trip over should be about 35-40 minutes, and I hope you all enjoy it.
So Ori, how was the boat ride this time?
Oh, luckily it was much smoother this time and completely uneventful. Keppel Island is like a hidden gem.
Yes, and we found our little paradise there.
Maybe this is a good moment to tell you a little bit about us.
We actually met while traveling in Africa some good 30 years ago.
And we have been together ever since. A couple of years ago, we decided to hit the road again, and we traveled to South America and to Europe and some other countries.
And finally, it was time to chase one of my dreams and to visit Australia.
So we spent some time in Sydney, then in Alice Springs, and after that we felt ready for the classic East Coast road trip.
Plus, I wanted also to reconnect with an old friend of mine, Graham. We met in Key West long time ago, and now he lives in Port Douglas.
So we had a simple plan to enjoy the coast, take our time, But also make sure we arrive in Port Douglas when the carnival begins there. After spending 10 days along the coast, we wanted to see what rural Queensland actually looks like.
One thing to know about us is that we are really crazy about nature and wildlife. A lot of the places we visit are chosen because of the animals we hope to see there.
And there was one animal we were really hoping to find.
The elusive platypus, which we knew lived in the Eungella National Park.
Not sure what is this bull's intention, but looks like he's a little bit hungry. Let's take a little bit of distance from him. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, good, there's a fence here.
Wow, he's beautiful.
He's beautiful, beautiful guy, boy.
Hello. You are, wow, yes, you are a monster.
We are in a broken river. That's the place of the platypus. Okay, so we're continuing to look for the platypus. They only come once in a while.
Up for air.
Up for air, but only briefly. Beautiful spot here on this river. What, we just spotted the platypus, right?
Yeah, in the middle there. But he's always going under, so you can see it always.
Yeah.
Just when he comes up for air.
Okay. Here's Mr. Platypus. Posing. This is a platypus floating down the stream. Oh, went down. What's difficult about spotting the platypus is that they only come up once in a while for air,
Right, and also there is a lot of other wildlife that you can mistake for them, like little turtles, ducks, fish. I was actually surprised because I thought that the platypus would be much bigger. I imagined more like the size of a beaver or so.
They are much smaller. In reality, they are maybe slightly bigger than a squirrel.
Every night when it gets dark, Ori does a search around the camp to search for wildlife.
And that night in the Eungella National Park, I found a giant carpet python crawling just at the edge of the forest next to our camp.
So it was huge.
Yeah, maybe 4 meters or even more.
Yeah, I would have been much happier if it wouldn't have been so close to our van.
The next stop is really special, Magnetic Island, where we hope to see wild koalas and wallabies.
Yes, Magnetic Island, that's where we're going. We already saw koalas in the Australia Zoo, which was amazing, but we also wanted to find them in the wild.
And this walk in Magnetic Island, we suddenly saw a gray furball on the tree.
And it turned out to be a koala.
Our first koala in the wild.
Yay!
Koala sleeping. On the other side of Magnetic Island, we found some caves. And to our surprise, we found also some friendly rock dwellers there. Don't eat the GoPro. Take a good close-up look. Okay.
En route to Mission Beach, we saw a sign for some wetlands.
And we decided to stop for a break, and this turned out to be quite an adventure.
we stopped to see the birds in the Taito wetlands, and we walked all around, and we had a great time there until
a man came up to us and say, "Hey, did you see the croc over there?" And we suddenly realized that we are actually in a croc territory. And we ran back to the place where he pointed out, and we saw a giant croc floating in the water.
Oh, he's big. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I saw it in Darwin.
4 meters at least.
Hey, wow, we are in this small wetland lake, and to our surprise, we just spotted a huge crocodile there in the water, and now it disappeared. But yeah, it's our first crocodile spotting in Australia, so we are very excited.
Yeah.
And, totally unexpected. And by the way, we have to be a little bit more careful the way we walk and dress around these lakes. We learned the lesson now. They are always around. We heard that Mission Beach is a great place to spot cassowaries in the wild. And here we took this forest walk in the hope to see one. We got these fan palms all over this place. Yeah, you can see the nice fans of these palms. Yep. We are walking in the rainforest. We are in the jungle now, searching for the cassowary.
So we searched and searched and searched and searched, but all we could find was the footprint and a picture of a cassowary.
But we still have hope to find it.
We drove from Brisbane to Cairns. We are almost in Cairns. We are in Mission Beach now. We still have about less than 2 hours drive.
Yeah, we have to return the car in 2 o'clock, so we quickly wanna.
And it's raining. We
It's
have a full
raining.
tank, and we're wearing sunglasses.
It's dark.
It's dark, and we are wearing
sunglasses.
sunglasses.
But no.
Hit it.
After more than 3 weeks on the road, it was time to say goodbye to our van.
It really was a good companion.
After dropping it off in Cairns, we rented a compact car and drove straight to Port Douglas, just in time to meet Graham and just ahead of the Carnivale.
We finally met Graham, and it was a very special Key West reunion.
It was great to meet him and get the original Aussie perspective on everything, from Aussie rule football to AC/DC to the best beer and meat pies.
Graham hosted us, and it was really nice to hang out with him. We went together for a mango wine tasting. It's actually very good.
It's not beer on the side.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
You drink port?
No.
We missed the Carnivale in Rio, but we didn't miss the Carnivale in Port Douglas.
Yeah. We thought Port Douglas was the end of the road, but Graham suggested to keep going north and stay at Cape Tribulation, an isolated settlement deep inside the Daintree Forest.
The oldest rainforest in the world.
And this was also our last chance to find the mysterious cassowary bird.
Really wet. Wow. I feel like a rainforest all by myself.
We are in rain configuration. Running
It's
away.
raining a lot.
Whew. Cape Tribulation.
Wow, look at this.
What did you find?
I found a cassowary plum. It's probably,
I thought it's a cassowary egg.
yeah, might be also. But that's probably what they eat. And that they get the color from it. Look at it. Yum, yum, yum. For days and days we were searching for the cassowary bird. And we couldn't find it. It's a huge bird. I mean, you cannot overlook it.
But somehow they managed to disguise themselves in camouflage. And after walking all these forest trails back and forth, we suddenly found one next to the road.
Right next to the road. No. Get closer. Wow, the crest is huge. Almost 10 centimeters.
It's a different type, maybe.
They say once they get older they have this crest. From here, you can hardly focus.
Let me go a little bit forward.
Oh.
Oh, it's a huge bird. They are huge. And here's his friend. His friend is over there.
Wow, we finally found the cassowaries.
Yeah.
It was so special.
Very special.
Wow.
So we are here in the Daintree Forest in a place called Cape Tribulation, which is actually named by Captain Cook because all the troubles he had with his ship in this area, he had to stop and fix it. And we found out that later on his journey, he continued north to a place that is called today Cooktown.
We got hooked on Cooktown and we decided to drive north and see what it is all about there.
Talking to the locals in Cape Tribulation, we found out that the road does continue north all the way to Cooktown.
Just not along the coast because the last hurricane swept the road away and they couldn't yet fix it.
So we traced our way back to Port Douglas and then headed up towards Cooktown to see the historic spot where Captain Cook was stranded. We made it all the way to the furthest point in our journey, to Cooktown.
And there we found some very nice people that invited us to join them for dinner in the restaurant.
Yeah, and this just shows you that you can make friends anywhere.
We all talk, do we know?
Yeah, hi from Cooktown.
Hello from Cooktown.
Pizza capital of Napoli.
Different sizes of beer here.
Well, I'll just explain that in Victoria they drink pots and they drink a smaller glass called a glass. In New South Wales they call the smaller glass a midi, M-I-D-I. They don't worry about Victorian nonsense. Then they go up to this. So they have a smaller thing, they have a schooner. This is New South Wales language.
Here on the bottom. You want the beer? Main Street in Cooktown. Historical building, the old bank. We are going inside historic building in Cooktown, and here is Michael. Michael is our host.
The old bank manager's residence.
Oh,
Huge. With all the cookery. We call it cookery. On the walls of Captain Cook.
We also went to the Museum of Cooktown and saw the original anchor and cannon of Captain Cook's ship. Very sunny today. Finally sun is out. Ah, so nice.
Cooktown, Queensland, Australia. Oh, we are strolling on the wharf, Cooktown.
It's nearly sunset time.
Nearly sunset, our last day in Cooktown. Notice point in our Australia expedition.
Yes, this is the end of the road for us in Cooktown.
End of the road. Yeah.
Let's go up here.
Yeah. And we got a beautiful weather here, and it's a nice views here on the bay. So maybe not look on us, just look on the bay. And yeah, a little bit sad that it's over, but I think we could not have picked a better spot to finish this expedition, Australia expedition, and specifically the Queensland far north. This is how they call it.
Far north.
The far north of Queensland.